When given a quadratic equation that we're trying to solve by factoring, first step is to get this equal 0. We have to have it equal 0 in order to solve by factoring, because the whole point is to set each factor equal to 0. And if it's not equal to 0 over here, then this whole thing doesn't work. So we want to simplify the equation, combine like terms, and then make sure one side has 0. Then we'll factor it. After that, we set each factor equal to 0, and then solve for x, right? Just like we were doing in the last video. And checking is always good. Also, put the solutions in curly brackets. That's when the directions say solution set, that's what they mean. If you're having trouble drawing curly brackets, because I know for some of us this might be a new thing, one thing you can do is sort of make a parenthesis and then a little like triangle thing and then another parenthesis. And that tends to look, decent. So parenthesis, triangle thingy, parenthesis. Sometimes mine look better than others, but that's the idea. So if they say state the solution set, that means after we're done solving an equation, we put whatever x is, make it true in curly brackets. So let's try this one. It says find solutions to this quadratic equation. First thing to check is, does it equal 0? It does, so we're good with that. Then we factor. To factor, well, first thing is to check, do I have an a in front of the x squared? Because remember, if there's an a here, then things are different. But if there's not, this is a pretty easy one. We're just trying to multiply to 15 and add to -8. We always multiply the last number, add to the middle number. It's only when there's an a in front of the x squared that we have to use the AC method, the more complicated one. Well, let's make a list of what multiplies to 15. 1 and 15, 3 and 5, and I think that's it. Do any of these add to -8? Well, yeah, I have to make both of these negative. If we have -3 and -5, they still multiply to a positive, because a negative times a negative is a positive, but now they add to that -8. So those are our two factors. When we're not using AC method, we can go straight to parentheses. X minus 3, x minus 5. I don't have to do the split the middle that we did at the AC method if there's no a in front of the x squared. Okay, so I did the factoring. I got equal 0. So now we're going to set both factors equal to 0. So either x minus 3 equals 0 or x minus 5 equals 0. And if you're at the point where you're like, I can just see what the two answers are, that's cool. For the rest of us, just to be clear, what we're doing is getting x by itself. So the reason it's not -3 is the answer, it's +3, is because I had to add 3 to both sides to undo subtract. Same with, instead of -5, the answer is going to be +5 because we have to get x alone. So x equals 5. So our two solutions are 3 and 5. And it did want us to check, so let's check both solutions. To check, usually you'd want to use the original equation, because if I put these in to the parentheses, the factored version, hopefully we see, oh yeah, that would make this one 0, 5 would make the second one 0. That isn't too bad. But let's check in the original just to make sure we factored correctly too. So our original is x squared minus 8x plus 15 equals 0. So we're going to use the first solution, 3. 3 squared minus 8 times 3 plus 15. Well, that would be 9 minus 24 plus 15. 9 plus 15 is 24, minus 24 equals 0. Check. Let's try the next one. 5 squared minus 8 times 5 plus 15. 25 minus 40 plus 15. Well, 25 plus 15 is 40, minus 40 equals 0. So both solutions do make the original equation true.